Guys, this is how I usually do my chicken. After I've washed it, I like to soak it in some salt and some vinegar. This brings out the taste of the chicken once you put the marinade in it. So that's what I'm doing here. I just added some salt and some malt vinegar. So I'm just gonna leave it to soak for about 30 minutes at least before I drain the water and put the marinade in. Now here I've drained the water from the chicken, so it's looking dry now, and these are the list of the ingredients that are going into our chicken. So I've got 3 onions, and that's fresh parsley. I've got lots of ginger, garlic, that's bay leaf, and that's mint leaves, fresh mint leaves, and the spring onions, green bell pepper, 1 cup of oil, and that's 1 Maggie cube. And at the back there are all the other ingredients that are going into the marinade. That was mixed herb, and there's chili powder, there's Dijon mustard, and that's nutmeg, and that's my vegetable seasoning. And that's the malt vinegar again. We're going to be using this lime juice, and this is whole peppercorns, and that's sea salt. I'll put the all the list of the ingredients in the description bar below as well. So that's our marinade ready, guys. Now, so I'm just gonna pour it into our chicken. Then I'm gonna be adding some oil and to marinate it. Then I set it aside. I marinated mine, I think, for at least 4 hours. Yeah. So I'm just rubbing all the marinades into the chicken and focusing on the dissections as well, just so that it can go right into the chicken and gives it a really nice flavor. So after I've marinated the chicken long enough, I'm going to be grilling it now. If you don't have access to charcoal grill, you can actually put it in your oven, or you can put it in your grill inside. But this time around, I grilled mine outside with charcoal. So I'm just rubbing some oil on top of the chicken. This prevents it from burning whilst grilling it on the charcoal. Now the chicken is ready, so I'm just going to be rubbing some butter on the chicken just to help it from drying out, because usually when you do grill your chicken out in a charcoal grill, it tends to dry out quite quickly. So I'm just rubbing some butter all over the chicken to keep it moist. Then what I did next is just placed it in my oven, in my indoor oven, and then light it up a little bit on the lowest setting just to keep it warm. Once I'm done with all the chicken preparations, so now I'm just chopping some onions. This is to make the onion sauce. So I chopped up some onions. Next, I just added some oil in a pot and I let it heat up. So I added the chopped onions. So I'm frying it here, and as you can see now, it has become translucent. Then next, what I'm adding here is the leftover marinade from the chicken. Yes, that's what I'm adding here. It's got all the other ingredients that we need, like black pepper, chili powder, ginger, garlic. So I'm not gonna be adding any more of those. All I'm adding is just some extra flavorings. So that's paprika. Before that was all-purpose seasoning, and that's black pepper. That's the powder one, and vegetable seasoning. Then I'm adding there is just mixed herbs, and that's chili powder. So I'm gonna combine it all together. After a few minutes, I added some balsamic vinegar, then I added some of that pink salt, then I added a little bit of water to help cook the onions. Lastly, I added some olives into the sauce and then mix it all over, and our sauce was ready. Moving on, we are moving on to making the vermicelli. This is the brand that I use. I bought mine from Sainsbury's supermarket. So this is what it looks like. So I'm just gonna be breaking them apart just to loosen them up and so that they can be into smaller pieces. So I'm just breaking them here. Then I'm gonna be adding it into the steamer and add some water into the pot first, let it boil. Then I'll add the vermicelli. Then I sprinkle some water on top of it and cover it to steam. Then now it's time to add the salt. So I added it into about half a cup of water, and I added 1 teaspoon of salt. So I mix it all over, and I'm gonna sprinkle that on the vermicelli as well. Once the vermicelli feels soft, it's ready, so it's time to take it out. Do not leave it too long, if not it will become too mushy. So I'm just removing it into a bowl. Then I'm going to be adding some butter. The butter does 2 things. It helps with flavoring, and it also stops it from holding together. Yeah, so it stops it from forming into lumps basically. So I'm adding the butter and just mixing it. I steamed up some mixed vegetables, then added it into the vermicelli for decorations and combined all together. Then our vermicelli was ready to be served. So that's our Eid Fiesta meal ready now, guys. It looks so delicious and it tasted delicious. With regards to that scotch egg, I am going to be doing a separate video all about it, because I don't want this video to be too long and too complicated. So I hope you guys have an amazing Eid, and I'll see you guys in my next video.